called Britannia. Britannia rules the waves, and the Americans are their slaves. May 28th, a young George Washington leads 40 militant men toward the French camp. When spotted by French forces, shots rain down. These are the first shots of a worldwide war, as Washington's men overwhelm and capture the camp surrounded by the vast expanse of North American wilderness. 13 French soldiers are killed and another 21 are captured.
This was the battle that not only set off the French and Indian War, but also had laid the groundwork for the American Revolution due to its repercussions. After the end of the 7 Years' War and the French-Indian War in North America, the victorious British Empire found themselves not so victorious in the fact that they had driven themselves into debt due to their war expenses. So what was the British solution to this problem? Why tax your overseas colonies, while at the same time not allowing them any true representation in your parliament, so they can't do anything about it.
One of the first acts of taxation on the American colonies was the Sugar Act of 1764, and imposed a tax on sugar being imported from nations or colonies outside of the British Empire, such as the French and Spanish colonies.
Which may sound fine for some of you, however, unfortunately for the colonists, the price of sugar made in the British colonies was far more expensive than the sugar produced outside of it, so...
Now colonial merchants, when importing goods, had two choices. They can either pay up or pay tax. Both the foreign sugar and British sugar were incredibly expensive. After the foreign sugar, of course, had a tax put on it.
Then following the Sugar Act was the Stamp Act. The Stamp Act imposed new taxes on printed material produced in London, such as books. These items also had a special stamp called the Embossed Revenue Stamp. There was also a tea and molasses tax act that happened previously before the Sugar and Stamp Act. The Molasses Act was pretty much the Sugar Act but for molasses, and the Tea Act is self-explanatory. It imposed a tax on tea. There was also other reasons the colonists felt they should leave the Union. For example, the British Empire forbid the American colonists from settling west of the Appalachian Mountains, which effectively limited American civilization to only the coast instead of being more spread out like it is today. This was put in place so the Native Americans west of the mountains could keep their land as long as they hailed to the British Crown. There was also a Boston Massacre where the British soldiers opened fire on a group of American protesters rebelling against the newly imposed tax acts as talked about earlier. There was also utter police brutality committed by the Brits under their control of the Americas. The colonists also became culturally different from those back in Britain, as well as from each other. In a way, the colonies were already like their own independent countries. Sure, they all still had very similar elements in their culture because they all hailed from the same kingdom in the end. However, you could see vast differences when traveling from the British colony of Georgia to, say, the British colony of Massachusetts. It was just so incredibly different. It would be like traveling from Scotland to Ireland. Sure, you may say they have similarities, but in the end they are their own distinct entities. All these things acted as the fire to ignite the bomb of war, of revolution, of independence. See you in part 2, everyone, where we discuss the actual war.
Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the steppin'.